This is Davon. This is Iru.
So, let's talk about who Davon is and where you started from prior to you singing.
Because I've been producing for much longer. Vocals really like I just decided to do because it was either waiting on other people or it just wasn't exactly what I wanted.
And so let's talk about your production then, since that's like the first thing that you've kind of really been doing. How did that kind of come about?
Well, like when I was like young, I was really into just like, I didn't have like a lot of friends like when I was like little, so it was like I would always find something that I was really into and like I would spend mad hours on. And I think I found music because I was already a big fan of music, and this was like high school where I was starting to like really, music was like defining me as a person and stuff. So there was like a rap battle in class, like in our class, and we were just joking around, and I took it too serious. I was like, writing stuff down. I was like, oh, let me go home, like I need music for it. And then like I started like making like beats and everything, and there was this kid in school who also made beats, and he was like the beat maker in school, and I would bring this like black CDs with like my stuff on there. And I had this like crappy like, this like MIDI program where everything sounded like a cheap cartoon, like, or a cheap video game, and I would send it to him and be like, yo, this just sounds like trash, like what is going on? And until like I eventually improved like over the years, but I just stuck with it since then.
What do you think about the artists that you get to work with? Because you work with a lot of, obviously upcoming artists, a lot of artists that are from Nashville. So ETS, Mike Wing, you've worked with 5-6.
Yeah.
You've produced for a couple singers. You were in a band at some point, so
yeah.
How was that work ethic working with, as a producer, working with people?
Working with other people, I don't know. I'm weird because I don't even like make stuff around people. I'm comfortable making stuff around other people because, I don't know, for one, like when I used to make stuff, like when I was like young, and my sisters would be around and they'd like hear like the beginning of it, and it's like not even dumb, but like they judge it right off the bat. It's like, I'm just starting, like it's gonna finish later, it's a takeaway, like I just started. On top of that, like I feel the most me, like I feel like people generally feel like the most them, like if you're alone, like you'll talk to yourself so much and like you'll just say the most outlandish stuff and like you'll just feel so comfortable just saying it because like you're just by yourself. Like I was in LA and they had me doing studio sessions, and it was a little awkward for me because like I wasn't used to it, but I told myself I was going to. And like the first session went like alright, but like I didn't make what I really wanted to make. Like there's a lot of quick beats that I can make when I'm around people, but like it's not what I want to do, and it's not gonna be the thing that like puts like all of me into it. Like it's not gonna be that thing.
Right.
If I'm just doing it around people, it's just gonna be a quick one-off. But yeah, it's always just like a solo thing.
And so you said that you started singing because of, just not really wanting to wait on a vocalist, and then also not hearing what you want to if you do get one.
Yeah, I'm impatient, and I was gonna move to LA, or like try to this year, because when I was there, like I realized working with people is a lot easier when like you're there, and I wanted to be able to do that, but I came back here and it was just like hard, and over time I realized that the music that I'm trying to make isn't actually what I'm doing right now. Like I think inside of me, like I've always wanted to be a performer. Like I always wanted to perform. That's like a thing for me, and in order for me to be able to do that, in order for me to create the vision or take that like piece of the reservoir that's in my head, that like it's like the all-encompassing feeling. In order to put that into music, I need to be able to handle all the aspects of it.
And so what was the process in, getting outside of yourself and saying, not even saying anything at this point, but actually hitting the mic and singing?
It was like an overtime thing, because even when I was in my band, when I wrote the songs, I would record into the mic for a reference. And so like I used to do it, and of course I was a little more reserved about it because it wasn't gonna be the final version anyway, so it'd be like a scrappy, like layered version. I'd send it over to the vocalist and she'd be able to figure it out. But she also told me like I should do vocals. Like there have been many people like that I've worked with that have just been like, oh, you sure you don't want to do vocals because this doesn't sound bad? And it's like, it's not. And like I don't even think I'm like a very powerful singer myself. I still need to like, training is something I want to do because there's so much that I can't do, and there's so much that like it takes a long time for me to be able to do, and which is why like I admire a lot of like the cats who are coming up where it's like they like Travis Scott for instance, where like he'll do that, but he'll have like the heavy like auto-tune effect on it, and like it gives it that expression. You can just like go for it, and I like that. But like for me, I think the confidence to actually like put that down, it took me just writing a bunch at home secretly, and then just like putting stuff together and then sending it around to like my close people, and they're just like, oh, this actually sounds pretty good, and then eventually just keep writing and develop more songs, and then look up like vocal practice and all that stuff, and just trying to push it out there. My thing with my music is like I like to combine a lot of different influences I have, and one of my biggest influences is chamber music and Baroque music. The artist Bjork is like my favorite artist of all time because visually and musically she appeals to the reservoir in my head that is the all-encompassing feeling, like the nostalgia, greatness, like everything that I can't describe. Whenever I listen to her music, it's this feeling that I cannot describe.
And so let's talk about your first time performing, because you did your first performance at in Manchester. What's the name?
It's the Shaskeen.
The Shaskeen.
Events rap night.
Yeah.
And a lot of people really liked it because it was something different. A lot of people get up there and like they'll just like do, because our whole scene like around here is a lot of like boom bap, like hip hop and everything, which is what like I came of age to, like underground like boom bap, hip hop and everything. But I've always been into a lot of different stuff, and my performance was not only was it not like straight rapping or like rapping at all, maybe it was how like rap flows, but it was like a lot of like melodic stuff, and it was seamless. So like none of the songs stopped. And that's what I want to do with my performances, where it just like goes into the next song. It's like a cinematic experience.
And I seen that you were like posting on social media now. Now you're addicted. Now you want to perform.
Yeah. I definitely I set up like a bunch of shows for like October. It's crazy. So that's gonna be really fun. It's also a way for me to just get used to it. And you know, like if I'm performing more, like I've been working a lot less, so it's like, you know, if I can get some like pay from it, which, you know, has happened, like it's a good way for like different income.
Right.
But I mean, there's multiple benefits for it, and I just really like performance. I think was one of the ultimate reasons why I started doing vocals, and I couldn't do that just as a producer. Like I wanted to be able to just put everything out there,
right.
And the performance angle is gonna help me do that.
So what do you see is next for you, as far as, you know, now you're doing performances and now you're actually doing vocals. So now what can we expect as far as how rapid you're going to be putting out tracks, so that we're always constantly. Yeah. Like you already have a backup list of things that are being released.
Yeah.
To come.
Yeah.
Nice.
I did a bunch of writing when I first started, and there were a lot of songs that like really stuck, and songs that I showed other people and they really liked. So I mean, I'm releasing my second track really soon. Actually, it's just a matter of like tightening it up.
Right.
I'm like a perfectionist, so like it needs to be like, even when like my newest single, I released it and like I was, for the next like 2 days, I replaced the file on SoundCloud because there were little tweaks to it. But that's another reason why like it's taking so long with Spotify right now, because like I pulled it back once, and usually it still takes like 3 days, but I guess like maybe since I pulled it back, they're reviewing it extra or something. But yeah, no, I'm just gonna keep going and going and going until I get the traction that I feel is right. And
what would you say to any new and upcoming artists that are pretty much, and I want it to be authentic, where you're you know, talking about good advice from your actual process. You know, obviously never give up, work hard,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying, all that stuff, but like what is something that you found in your process that you feel like is something that somebody else would value?
I feel like everybody's process is like so different, to where it's like I couldn't really choose one thing, because like one thing that works for me won't work for you,
right.
Or like another person. But I mean, as far as artistry goes, I don't know, man. Like a lot of the cliches are cliches for a reason, because they're true. Like a lot of people say be yourself and like do that. I mean, depends on where you want to go, obviously. Like you can't just like release like a whole tape of you just like clashing spoons. If that's what you want to do, then do that. But like, don't expect to like, you know, be top 40. Like, if you're just like clashing spoons, and like that's the whole record. You know what I'm saying? But I think, to me, honestly, and this is just like, I guess, speaking to my scene, like, don't be afraid to like actually challenge yourself. Because I mean, it's no disrespect to everybody, because I like everybody's doing it. If it's you, like, it's you. But I feel like a lot of people with this scene, like, they're very sort of like in this one lane, and maybe there's people out here who just don't, you know, they're doing something really, really unique, and they're just not out here like doing it. I feel like challenging yourself is the best thing you can do, because I used to just do one thing, and I used to just listen to, like, you know, primarily one thing, and I feel like stepping out of your comfort zone allows you to do so much more, maybe things you didn't think you knew enjoyed, that you'd enjoy, because like you shun it right away. You think this is that, and I need to be this. Like, stepping out of your comfort zone could be the best thing for you, because you could implement things from here into that thing, into your core, and it adds something different to the scene. So I mean, just don't be afraid to adventure, because that's definitely really important right now.
And shout out your Instagram and your song, your Spotify, whatever you
Everything is just about everything, I believe, is at Day by Day Music. It says DEXDE Music. That's Instagram, that's Twitter, that's even SoundCloud. It's just about everything. Just released a track called Outrun. That's the first song that I have out right now.